Hello there everybody, and a very warm welcome to today's video. We are on the ground today in Manchester, and this is an airport I very rarely touch, but it's an airport today which I am intending to really sort of test this new scenery I got, which is the Aerosoft Manchester scenery, which I think was actually designed via someone else, but it's branded for Aerosoft. The scenery, literally in my opinion so far, blows UK 2000 Manchester out of the park. However, the FPS is a little bit more affected, but that doesn't matter at all. I think it's an incredible scenery which has been made, and just wanted to say, well worth a purchase. Considering I very rarely fly from Manchester, I thought let's buy a scenery somewhere I don't really fly from, and let's build up a little bit. Let's get some more flights into that airport. So anyway, enough of that. Welcome today on board Thomas Cook Airlines flight TCX1192, I believe. TCX1192, flying from Manchester down to the island of Kefalonia in the Ionian Sea. Now, the scenery in Kefalonia is quite nice. I've been there, I've tested it. It's a nice scenery. It's a bit of a difficult aerodrome to fly into. Quite a short runway, but it's perfect, and it's quite a popular holiday destination. And this is actually a scheduled flight from Thomas Cook. However, we're a little bit delayed, I think, regarding times, but that doesn't really affect much, to be honest with you. Anyhow, let's look into it. Full up today, we are taking 170 passengers. Actually, that's probably not full up, is it? 170 passengers on this service down to, obviously, Kefalonia. Flight time today, according to PFPX, is 3 hours 5 minutes, cruising at 35,000 feet with an actual step climb, I think. Yeah, we've actually got a step climb to 37,000. But I reckon the aircraft will be fine, staying at 35 or 37. The call sign today is Kestrel. I have it written down somewhere. 29 Foxtrot Delta. Kestrel 29 Foxtrot Delta is the call sign today. However, we're not going to be on VATSIM. We're just going to be flying offline. Anyhow, are actually flying a Scandinavian Thomas Cook Airbus A321 today. The repaint was from Avsim, I believe. It was from Avsim. I was looking at the Thomas Cook. They do like a Thomas Cook pack where they do every aircraft in the fleet has been repainted. So I've thought, why not get all the English ones which I have installed, but then why not add some Scandinavian aircraft to the fleet. Now, if you remember, my video from Newcastle to Tenerife was also done in a Scandinavian aircraft, but that was a little bit unrealistic. This Manchester actually have Scandinavian aircraft based. Thomas Cook actually have Scandinavian aircraft based at Manchester for the summer to deal with the high volumes of traffic and high volumes of people wanting to get on their holiday. Now, look, if you just look at that scenery, it is absolutely incredible. The inside of the terminal is actually modelled really nicely. There's posters on the inside of the terminal. There's sort of card machines by the looks of it, and advertisements. It's an incredible scenery, and as you look around it, it's quite nice. But the FPS has a bit of an effect, but it's lovely. I'm actually genuinely quite shocked. I didn't think it was going to be this nice. Anyhow, 209 is the gate today, as you can see there. I've got the jetway connected. Airbus A321, obviously, if you haven't been able to clock that, flying us down to Kefalonia today. So then, a very warm welcome to the flight deck. The registration in the aircraft doesn't affect the registration that's on the outside of the aircraft, but I don't actually know the reason why that happens. But anyhow, doesn't really bother me too much. External power, the battery's on first, then the external power. Zero signs on, emergency lights can be armed, that's perfect. And we'll go nav and logo light, they can come on. Okay, so screens can come on, the PFD, ND displays, and then the ECAM can come on, and the lower ECAM can also come on. Radio stacks can also come on. First thing I want to do, excuse me, the first thing I wish to do is with GSX, we're going to request boarding. They can start the boarding process, and then from there we'll set up the fuel, and we'll go from there. So the 2 doors there need to be open, and the 2 cargo doors also need to be opened, which is done perfectly. Now the boarding will complete or do what it needs to do in a little while. 170 passengers today. PFPX's cargo is telling us we have got 6.1 tons of cargo. No, 6.1 is the weight as cargo apparently, and the fuel we need on board the trip fuel is 9.7. Well, instant that. They'll put that across instantly. That's fine. Okay, so the boarding is obviously commencing now. We're going to come into the second MCDU. In its reference page, we're flying from Manchester today, HG Echo Golf, Charlie Charlie to Kefalonia, Echo Lima Golf, Kilo Fox Trot. Return flight number is Kestrel 29 Foxtrot Delta. Cost index of 8. I don't actually know what Thomas Cook's cost index is. Really should find that out. Anyhow, alternate today. The main alternate is, I do know this, is LGAD. I don't actually know what that is, but that's the alternate she's been given to us today. And the block fuel is 9.7, sorry. That's perfect by that standard. Okay, so we'll align the IRSs now. I can come up, we'll stick them all across the nav. Align the IRSs, flight plan. So departing out of Manchester today. Now, Manchester always blows me away a little bit, the runways, because I know they have two and they only use one in the summer. I only use both, sorry, they only use both in the summer. It's 2 sevens, it'll be 2, I do know this, I've actually got the charts up. There's 2 free left for departure. If I am not mistaken, it'll be 2 free left for departure. Yes, that is indeed correct. Oh, my voice is going a little bit. I do apologise. And it'll be the Listo departure, and it's a Listo 2 Yankee departure on 2 free left. Okay. So, from Listo, where are we going? Upper Lima 612 to Honolulu, or UL 612. It doesn't like that, does it? UL 612. Is that? Am I even reading that correct? Yeah, I am. Ah, okay. Maybe I'm not reading that right. So after Listo, direct to Honolulu. Then from Honolulu is up UL15. Okay, that's cool. We'll just miss that waypoint out and we'll go from there. I don't know why that was put in there, to be fair. UL15 to Raipas. Raipas is UN850 to Odina. UN850 to Odina. To M727 to Sierra Romeo November. And then it's L153 to Osball. Osball is OSBUL, OS. Am I reading that correct? OSBUL, L153, OSBUL. That, for some reason, don't want to go in there. I don't know why that doesn't want to go in there. And insert that, and we'll go down, and we'll sort that out. So from Sierra Romeo November is the ANC. And then from ANC, it's going to be L612. To Mazeg. Data. Position, monitor, aircraft status. Menu. Flight plan. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Progress. I know where it is. It's one of these pages and it's got some information on us which I think we need to look at. Monitor, position, IRS, monitor, SPS, monitor, no. Okay, that's fine. Maseg. From Maseg it's L612 to VIE. I actually think that could be Vienna. Is VIE Vienna? No, it's not. November 1 to Latan. No, it doesn't like that either. I don't know what's wrong with this route. I need to check something, I think. I need to check the AirX, the correct one. I am using the correct one. So I need to sort of try to find position, monitor aircraft status. Ah, that's why. But I know if I change it over, I'm going to end up having to redo the whole route. But that, to be fair, doesn't actually bother me because I know that that hasn't got an issue, or that isn't an issue for me. I'd rather put the whole route in again with a valid AirX. That's a bit of an issue there. I don't know why that didn't sort of save as where I wanted it to save, but you know, that's completely okay by myself. These things happen, I suppose. Departure, 23 left, Listo 2 Yankee, insert. After Listo, now let's try this all over again. Should the first waypoint work? It should. UL612 to Honolulu. There we go, to Honolulu. UL15. Let's say what we'll do, we'll just do this. Not allowed. Oh. It didn't like that, did it? Oh well. That's fine. From SRN, it's going to be Airways. From SRN, we're going L153 to Ospal. From Ospal, it's Y765. To L612. Direct VIE. Quite a long-winded process, unfortunately, because the AirAC was wrong. But you know, that unfortunately isn't my. Nothing I can actually do about that. November 1 to Latan. Insert that. Perfect. Routing is done. Arrival, we'll worry about that later. After departure, it's going to be flap 2 with up of trimmer 1. That might not save. It won't save. It doesn't let me save it for some reason. Okay, so the transition altitude at Manchester apparently is 5,000 feet. I'm just going to leave that in. I'm not a Manchester guru. I don't know. I think it would have been 6,000, but you know, I wouldn't know. I'll leave the Aeros off to trust myself there. So we're going to engine out. We'll lose the engine at 2652. And that's perfect. Okay, so that's fine by myself. I'm already, and I'm happy with that. So sorry about the bit of a initial stress there, I suppose you can say, but nothing really we can do about it. We're got a bit of a taxi out at the moment, or we're on Terminal 2 at the minute. We've got a bit of a taxi out, obviously. We're obviously going down the Delta. It could be taxiway Delta, Delta 1, to be fair. I mean, I'm looking at the charts. I very rarely go into much detail. Very rarely go into much detail with charts at sort of Gatwick and that, because I think I sort of have more of an understanding than sort of aerodromes. But you know, I mean, Manchester is an airport where I think the taxiways are quite confusing. But then again, people could think that Gatwick's confusing. I don't know. You know, that's just a personal preference. Anyway, the boarding should nearly be done, to be fair. Shouldn't really be much more going on. I'm going to go to the outside of the aircraft and have a little look around, in fact, and we'll see what's going on. By the looks of it, all the cargo's unloaded, so we can actually close the main cargo doors. So we'll do that. So we'll go to aircraft doors. Close the rear cargo first, and the front cargo. That's brilliant. Okay, so APU can now come on. We'll start the APU, and we'll let that do its thing. We can actually close down BFPX now, but if you wanted to know, interested in what the routing was taking us, it's down over Birmingham, just over Heathrow, north of Heathrow, over the Channel, and then over the sort of eastern part of France, over the Alps, then over northern Italy, then flying parallel to the coast of Italy, and then down into the Ionian Sea and into Kefalonia today. Now the weather down in Kefalonia at the moment, it looks really nice with the journey to the Meta, and wow, was that right? There is not a cloud in the sky, and it's 35 degrees. I mean, there is little clouds, and that's just by Corfu. That is literally it. There's not a cloud to be seen around by Greece at the minute, which is, well, to be honest, that is simply mind-blowing. There is not a cloud in the sky. Yet when you compare it to here at Manchester, it's really thick, overcast weather. But you know, you can't win them all. So we'll lose the external power now, actually, and we'll set the parking brake. So parking brake can become set, and the ground services go, lose the traffic cones, lose the wheel chocks, and we'll lose the GPU, and now we're running primarily off the APU. So that's going to be it, unfortunately, for now, until the boarding completes, and we will be back very shortly to commence our push and start here at Manchester Airport. Okay then, so the boarding has been completed. We're now going to close the main aircraft doors, and we're going to request push and start. So it'll be a nose right, tower left today. Door is now being closed, and we'll lose the jetway. Now the temperatures in the cabin and the cockpit can be reduced. APU bleed can now come on. Fuel pumps can also come on. The jetway should now be clear, which it has been, and we'll go for the beacon light. That can now come on as we're now getting ready for push and start. Okay then, so ignition start for the engines. Squawk 2000 done. Okay, release parking brake, and we'll do the set up the terrain on the ND display. Then we'll go from there really. Actually, should we have weather? I don't know, the weather could look a little bit interesting around here. Apparently it was too far. I should say that the weather's actually cleared a little bit. I mean, it's quite bad over there, but apart from that, the weather is sort of above us isn't too bad. Okay, so start number 2. Number 2 sounds like it's stabilising very nicely. And won't start number 1 just yet. There is that incredible scene. The terminal just looks so realistic. It looks really, really good. Okay, so parking brake will be setting very shortly. The second it tells us to set the parking brake, we'll start number 1. Parking brake, there we go. Start number 1. They're cutting the fuel a bit fine, aren't we? Landing 1.6 tons. That could be interesting. Oh, we'll be fine. Okay, number 1 is stabilised. Ignition start goes to normal. Leave the AP on for the time being. Okay, so the car's been disconnected, so we'll do a flight controls check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, brilliant, rudder, full left, full right. And it will neutral a minute. Yeah, neutral. Perfect. Okay, so spoilers, they are all working nicely. It's flap 2 for takeoff today. We'll set that now. And we'll lose the APU. Have a good trip. Lovely jubbly. Okay, taxi lights on. Release the parking brakes. Let me have a quick look at the charts. Delta, the second right. And just follow it all the way around, I think. Yeah. Brakes working nicely. Nice. Okay, so the APU should be off, which everything seems to be okay. Let's do the ECAM memo now. Do that when we get to the holding point. Auto brake to max. Arm the spoilers. Oh, that's why I don't really like doing it on the go, because the taxi, when you can't see the taxiway, it's a little bit difficult. Anyway, landing memo is completed. ECAM memo, sorry, is completed, and we have no blue. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Seats for departure, please. That's seats for departure, thank you. Okay, so we'll just hold short here. Ensure everything's okay and ready to go. So, we'll have a final check of the charts. Kilo 5's there, straight ahead, so that's fine. We can just go straight ahead here. The cabin crew should now be seating, or starting to sit down and get the cabin ready for departure. T-gas can now come online. Turn off lights can come on. And the takeoff lights, sorry, the TO lights can come on. Not the landing lights don't come on yet though. Clear on the approach. There's nothing on the TCAS either, so we are all okay to cross the runway. Strobes can come on as well. We should be all ready to go. We're holding the holding point now. Landing lights can come on. Final ding for the cabin. It's perfect stuff. Okay. Now everything on the overhead panel should be okay. We will just check that. Lights are as required, sort of signs are done, the AP, well, the cockpit and cabin is called, I think it seems to be okay, nothing out of the ordinary. Everything's okay down here. Let's go then. Start the chrono. Stable. Man, flex, SRS and runway is speed alive. $100 knots. V1 rotates. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Follow that flight director. Just the gear is up, no lights, or lights off. Okay, autopilot on. Up to 5,000 feet we go. Climb thrust. There we go. Wow. The immersion's looking very nice. That looks very, very nice. Okay, so we'll continue on this departure. We'll go flap 1 now. And we'll go climb to level 150, sorry. And we'll go flaps up. Brilliant stuff. Turn the airports off. So there we have it then, guys. We have departed from Manchester. Everything's actually okay. We're all en route. Nothing to sort of abnormal about that. Lovely departure actually. I really actually thoroughly enjoyed that. It was quite a nice nice departure, a nice takeoff, sorry. But there we have it, passing this transition altitude onto stand-up we go. That's going to be it now, unfortunately, until we actually get down to Kefalonia. Apart from that, everything I can say is okay. And we'll see you in a few hours down in the island of Kefalonia, which I think is going to be quite an interesting approach, because it has been proven in the past to be a very nice, but also in parts challenging airport. Speak to you guys soon. Okay then, you are all rejoining us on our arrival into Kefalonia. Just trying to get that speed under control, passing flight level 170. Got the speed brakes out to try and control it as best as possible. We're just making our initial turn now, and we've got around, well, we're supposed to land at around about 23 minutes past the hour according to the MCDU. So about 10 minutes to go, so we'll get the cabin crew to call. Cabin crew, thank you, about 10 to 15 minutes to landing. That's around about 10 to 15 minutes to landing, thank you. and we're going to head our descent down to 6,000 feet. We're trying our hardest to control the speed. Out in the sea at the minute there are a few scattered clouds. Earlier there were no clouds in the vicinity at all, and however now there's a few. Over on the ground it's cooled down to around 32, 33 degrees, so it's still incredibly warm though. You definitely have to be a little bit careful. I mean, a little bit gusty winds. You can get a bit more of an idea of our approach here. Sort of make a left-hand turn and sort of rounding in. It's a VOR approach, however we'll most likely just disengage the autopilot when we need to. So let's commence our left-hand turn, and we have just got enough fuel. I'm trying to think what that is. There we go, okay. So we just have to commence a left-hand turn, don't need the speed brakes anymore. And Kefalonia is just sort of to our left-hand side. It isn't the first bit of terrain we see. It's quite sort of difficult. There's a bit of a cloud layer around as well. We do need to try our best to get back as much as possible. Lose altitude as much as possible. See what signs can come on as well. No. More of a steeper turn. Some of these Greek airballs are quite sort of remote. Oh, don't know what happened there. Don't need ILS on. So the airport is just out to our left hand side there. It's obviously we're still quite high, so I have to obviously take that into consideration. Just make a left hand turn very shortly as well. And then we'll pass 10,000 feet, lights can come on, and then we'll go from there. Supposed to be landing at 23 minutes past the hour, however I don't think that's going to be I don't think we're going to be getting down around about 5 minutes time. It's knocking back to 24 minutes past the hour now, so obviously, you know. Knocking back, that's past 10,000 feet, so all the lights can now come on. The airport's around here somewhere. Down to 4,000 feet. So the airport's just at around about 10 o'clock. That could be it. If you zoom in, we'll have a quick look at it. Oh, clouds starting to show a little bit now. Or more of a haze. Or lose the speed rate, you might need a bit more drag, but that isn't going to be one of our worries at the moment. Okay, everything's okay to be fair. I'm relatively happy with everything. We're obviously going down to 3,000 feet now, there's no more stopping, so we'll just reset local QNH1010, and we'll go to the approach phase and just double check everything is okay. And programmed in for the approach, 1,144 is final approach speed, flat full, 15 knot wind coming up from 320 degrees, temperature on the ground is 32 degrees, QNH1011, our decision height today is at 700 feet. Okay, everything seems to be okay. So we should be on the ground, we should be on the ground according to the MCDU in 3 minutes time, but I don't think that's gonna be happening, to be completely honest with you. Just having a little look around now. Yeah, we're bang on track. Looking at the radar. Everything seems to be running fine, to be fair. This is obviously cabin crew. Cabin should be getting ready to go, or the cabin should be ready to land. We'll give them the call in just a second. And we might go on to a manual descent now. Manually bring it down to 5,000 feet. And we'll activate the approach phase. And we've got manual speed 245 knots. And heading 095. We'll have to start to bring in our speed back in just a second. $10-mile ring, we'll just put a fixed ring around to show us exactly whereabouts we're heading, and information like so. Speed back to 220 knots. ,4,000 feet down we go now. Speed back 200 knots and we'll go flap 1. Lose a speed brake. Okay, so left heading 075 now. You actually can't see. I actually can't see the airport just yet because of the hazy sort of weather, the low cloud. If it's to say, I don't really think it's cloud. It's more just heat haze. Bearing in mind it is like 32 degrees on the ground, so. Okay, spin around 050 and we'll go down to 3,000 feet. Speed back 180 knots. Flap 2. And there's a boat. That. Okay, let's spin it around onto the runway heading. Or we'll just go 350 at the time being. Brilliant stuff. Down to 2,000 feet, speed 160 knots. That's brilliant. If that speed should start coming back now. Actually can't see the airport just yet either. Tad of a struggle, we should be okay. Turn the terrain radar off now. Okay, then here we go, flap 3. I have control. Current altitude 3,000 feet, manual speed. Back now, auto brake medium. Lose the flight director. Is the runway just coming into sights? Gear down. Flap full. Arm the spoilers. Or the speed brakes, right? Here we go then. There's the runway coming into sights. Here we go. No eyes on the display, just using the puppy lights and our manual, sort of what we can actually just see out the window now.
1,000.
2 red, 2 white.
100 above.
Ignore the squeaky
Minimum.
yoke. Continue.
$500. 400. 300.
Here we go.
200.
All birds.
100. 70. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 5.
Go rudder. We're down. First green. Only 2 knots manual brakes. Cancel reverse. Welcome to Kefalonia. They've got a spinner around. Okay. You could just turn around at the end. Yeah, we'll just turn around at the end. There we go then. That's nice. APU, can I come on? V3.31 on the ground here at the moment. Basically, we have we had a PFPX gives us a time of 3 hours and 5 minutes. We've literally have just landed and it's 3 hours 3 minutes. By the time we shut down, I reckon that'll be 3 hours 5. That'll be bang on schedule, bang on normal flight time given to us. Can't really ask for much more. APU's now on, obviously. That's doing its thing. But the strobe lights can now come off. Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kefalonia. Cabin crew, thank you very much. Prepare to disarm the doors for arrival, please. Now I need to sort of try and get a grip of where we've got to go. Okay, so we, by the looks of it, need to go out, round and in. But to do that, it looks like we're going to need to lose GSX, so as we're going to hit something. So we'll revoke the parking services. No, doesn't want to do anything there. Gates. Looks like we are going to have to restart and rebuild the cache. Just so we can get onto the gate, which is fine by me. Scenery is lovely. Now we know the man is going to be there, so now we will use him to guide us in. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so lose number 1. We'll lose number 2. Cabin crew, thank you. Disarm the doors for arrival, please. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kefalonia. There we have it. Welcome. That wasn't very good parking, I know, but it's just quite a difficult airport to park at GSX. And a little bit of gratitude wouldn't go amiss. Anyway, request deboarding. Wheel chocks, traffic cones, external power. Should we take external power? I'm just thinking air conditioning. It's 19 degrees in the cabin, 31 degrees outside. We go onto external power, we lose air conditioning, so we'll stay on APU I think for the time being. Aircraft doors, open up the required doors. There we have it then. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, we will go on to GPU actually. So there we have it. We have made it to Kefalonia, and it has been an incredible flight. Really, really thoroughly enjoyed that. It was a lovely departure out of Manchester, and it was just in total a really, really nice flight. I hope you've actually enjoyed it. Yeah, again, we've done a flight to Zante this time last summer, and it's been a year, I think, roughly. And now we've come down to another Greek airport. It's been a lovely flight. There's not really much else for myself to say now. I hope you actually enjoyed the video. Obviously, be sure to like and subscribe. And obviously, until the next video, thank you very much for tuning in. And the landing rate was -323, so it was quite hard, but it was perfect. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you.